Hey, welcome to the Tolleson-Mack podcast. Today we have a very special guest on, Sharman Hickman from Hickman's Family Farms. As you can see, we have the egg statue and all kinds of stuff, and we will get into all of that. But I want you to kind of introduce yourself, talk a little bit about your family. I mean, most people know what you do, but some people need to know. So take it away.
Thank you for having me. I
course.
feel like I'm representing 80 years in Arizona. Just
We
me
love that.
here and
Just
7
you.
million chicks.
7 million chicks and 80. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, all tonight, right on this podcast. So thanks for having me. I am a third generation egg farmer, and my grandparents started in about that, doing the math, 1944.
There we go.
80 years.
There we go.
If you're doing the math. So we have evolved from going to caged birds from when they started to now the new cage free. So now we're transitioning our entire flock to cage free.
So let's. I'll pick these things apart because people have questions. That's why they like me on here because I asked the dumb question. So we drive by Hickman's, and there's still the big barns. But inside, I didn't know this until I got a tour. Inside those barns is cage free. Like they can just go anywhere they want.
Right.
Like chicken can just cruise anywhere he wants.
Yeah.
Or she wants.
Anywhere she wants. So we don't have roosters.
Right.
And most people don't know, believe it or not, that a hen automatically lays eggs without a rooster.
Not gonna lie, I'm fourth generation farmer and I didn't know that.
Yeah. They stand around and look pretty, and so they don't have a job at Hickman's.
Yeah.
So we provide a really comfortable environment for her. She's 78 to 81 degrees right now.
Yeah, I felt the thing where they lay the eggs. It's like softer than my bed.
Yeah, well, everything's supposed to be stress-free. And
I mean, I'm not a chicken, but it seems pretty stress-free.
Enough novelty that she doesn't get bored, because when boredom sets in, they look for trouble. So they have enough, just enough space so they can do exercise, and they have their own nutritionist, and they have their own vet team. So
yeah, I've seen all those people, and I really was surprised because I obviously I buy my Hickman's eggs. I see cage free, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, wait, maybe the cage free eggs I'm buying aren't coming from the place down the road from my house because they're the big barns, right? But then I went and looked inside of one of those big barns, and it's literally like a ginormous playground for chickens.
It is. That's funny. You've been talking to our production manager. Sorry, ginormous playground.
That's what it looks like because they're everywhere and there's feathers. They're just cruising.
They're having a good time.
Yeah.
So they, what we found out is that they can maintain about 30 relationships. So they kind of birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah.
But about 30 of them. So what happens is,
so they got like a group of 30 friends.
Yeah.
That's what you're telling me.
They can maintain about 30.
Okay.
So ask your wife if she feels comfortable when she goes into a room of 30 females that they all know each other.
The answer is going to be no.
She's the new chick.
Yeah, the answer is going to be no. She doesn't like that anyways.
I don't feel comfortable either.
Do you guys ever think about maybe just getting some roosters like for show? Like just to cruise around the property, like just because they would be cool,
So that would be more of a hobby farm.
Yeah.
And so we're in it to provide a living to people. And so
that's understandable.
If there's extra money, we reinvest and we buy more feed, and we pay our employees more. And, so no one really wants to have a pretty rooster walking around.
No, but like the other guy that should be on here podcasting, but he's not. He always says that he wants to be a dairy bull. I can't figure out why. But that's what he says. So that's why that's the line I was going with the roosters, but I don't know. Who knows?
I'm not going to get into another farm. I'm not an expert.
I'm not an expert in dairy.
No, I'm not an expert. Let the milk people do their milk.
Yeah. Okay, so we got through the cage-free thing, and like I said, I was not a believer till I seen it from my own eyes, and I can tell you from somebody who's not affiliated with Hickman's, they are cage-free because they're living their best life. They are. So, okay. So now we're at the cage-free evolution, we'll call it.
So we started out with about 500 chickens on my grandma's porch. And back then neighbors were still bartering, like say, I'll switch you for, because I have these extra eggs. And she always gave back to her neighbors that were a little short of groceries. So, and she always wanted to have enough to help people, down the street if they had falling on hard times. So now, advancing the clock, we have just over 7 million laying hens. So from chick to mature laying hen. And with that comes a lot of efficiency. And we've been able to donate a lot of freshly laid eggs to fight hunger
That's so
in our
cool.
communities, and not just in our community here, but we ship eggs to Hawaii. We did, when Maui had their tragedy, we were shipping as much as we could to help the people there, and in our other states that there's hunger and security, which it's everywhere. So
Yeah, it is.
we're able to donate.
And
to
eggs
fight
are, I
hunger.
mean, eggs are great. Like you can use them for lots and lots of things.
Yeah, ice cream.
Yeah, everything.
That's
Yeah, they use them for everything.
Mhm.
So when your grandma had that, was that, and I just learned this, was that 67th location?
Uh-huh. That was the 67th Avenue in Missouri. In fact, I bought you one shirt
Okay.
over there that says, it's got our funky with horns. So we try to get into the dairy,
That's cool.
type thing
So
too.
67th and
So we were
Missouri.
moved. Moved again to 91st in Glendale. And then the city moved us
See,
again
that's
to
what I
Buckeye.
remember. So
Mhm.
I remember because we farmed in Levine, right? So 90 straight up 91st. Like I mean, that was going into town for us, and
Yeah.
especially if we made it to Glendale, that was a big deal. But I remember where that place was on Glendale, and like I was telling you earlier, we my daughter's soccer team plays soccer there at Kellis now.
Mhm.
Same place, and I always tell them every time I go, this used to be Hickman's. I know that, but so the story I always got was they moved you guys because they were building the stadium. Is that
So
why? Or
first, there was a rumor to be a movie studio was going to come in. That was in the early '90s, and so we kind of that deal kind of closed. But as you know, some Cardinals came in, and it was time for us to go.
yeah.
And so we made a home in Buckeye. So our offices are headquartered in Buckeye. They're very farmer friendly.
Oh yeah.
Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they
That
stay that
that
way.
guy standing on the other side of that window bells all the hay all the way around
Oh,
you.
that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. And so our farms with the hens on them are in Arlington, which is
Mhm.
about another 20 minutes west. And then we have our big, beautiful farm, Tonopah. They're all beautiful. And then we actually have a farm on the Auction Indian community, and that is just outside of Chandler,
Mhm.
in between Chandler and Casa Grande.
Yep. Yep. On
So,
the what
mhm.
is that? The road coming on Maricopa, whatever that one is, maybe 347 or I don't know, whatever it is. But yeah, I know where that one is too.
So we like to say it's up the street from Shamrock Farms
Hmm.
and John Wayne's Cattle Ranch.
Right. It is very close
Lots
to the
of
Red River.
people
You're
that
right.
watch you like John Wayne.
Yeah, yeah. You're right though. It is right up the road from Red River. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's where it was. Um, the one in Tonopah, I like. It's all surrounded by farms, got
Mhm.
cattle in the front. I think that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yep,
So
that's we have two, Butterscotch and Fernanda.
yeah, they were pretty friendly until you told them what I did for work, and then they
They
like
didn't want anything to
they
do with
want
you.
they didn't want nothing to do with me. Then they turned around and left.
Yeah. And I want to tell you, that was nice of you to come all the way because people don't hang out at 417th Avenue and Indian School on a Saturday morning.
It's more because, well, I mean, obviously there was a fire there, and you guys are my friends. I'm no fireman, but I can run a loader, an excavator, a forklift,
Yep.
whatever you guys needed, I was there to help. And as much as it seems like farmers kind of get a bad rap a little bit sometimes because one guy sells hay at $5 cheaper than his neighbor or whatever. Well, that's just farming. But when another farmer needs help, you
Yep.
drop everything you're doing. You go help the
Hmm.
guy because there's going to come a time when I might need something,
Hmm.
or whatever. And I know you guys would come help me. So I went over
Yep.
there. You need me to run whatever. I'll stand here by the gate and push the button if you want me to.
Yep.
I don't care.
Exactly.
I was hanging out. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
no,
nice.
I appreciate that. But I mean, like I said, it's only because I know everybody standing out there watching us talk would do the same thing for me
Hmm.
or for you or for whatever. But what one thing I want to kind of touch on a little bit is your leadership program.
Right.
We got this cool thing up here.
Thank you.
Why don't you tell us about our leadership program? Or
So
your leadership program, sorry.
well, okay, since my brothers and my nephews aren't here, my dad, I get to tell you that Hickman's was started by women. So they're not here to defend
There you
themselves.
go. They can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Where are
like it.
they?
I
They're
like it.
working right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, my mom and my grandma started, and I thought that was really cool. And when some of our lady leadership got up the ladder, they wanted to develop career ladders. We have, as you mentioned, some unique labor because no one really wakes up and goes to kindergarten and says, "I want to be an egg farmer."
Right.
I didn't really see anybody raise their hands when I was back.
No.
Um,
I can't
so
remember that.
so we compete for labor. We have some unique labor solutions, and one of those is the inmate work program. So they start working for us when they are incarcerated, and then they develop some skills. Some come with some great skills. They just had some
Bad luck.
mistakes. And so it's 2 to 3 years of training, and when they get released, they want to come and put those years of training to their career at Hickman's. So a lot of the ladies and men are in leadership positions. So, they're paying a lot of taxes. They're rushing kids to school. They're furthering their education.
They're being a leader.
Yeah, they're donating back. They're mentoring their new hires coming in and pushing them up the ladder.
And then maybe, I mean, I don't know. I have a personal story about this and we'll get into that, but I I think that when somebody who has kind of been there and done that, like the way you're explaining, working themselves up, starts mentoring somebody, the person they're mentoring seems to listen a little more.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because they're like, man, this
walked
guy's
in
did it. He did it the
walked in
hard
the
way.
same shoes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she did it the hard way, like I'm doing it, so
Oh
I
yeah.
should pay attention. But
Hmm.
yeah, and I noticed out there along Baseline, because like I said, I don't live far from the Arlington one. Along Baseline, there's a lot of housing. You guys build housing and all kinds of stuff, right?
Yeah, so we have 40 studio apartments, and then we have some deluxe converted Connex containers.
Those are the ones that are
Mhm.
like 2 story,
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
so converted like the tiny houses.
yeah, yeah.
We have those. So about 78 residences, and they're
Like on
uh
property
huh,
kind of thing.
and some detached mobile homes, and some as you saw in Tonopah, there's a big house
Yeah,
right there, and dairies.
yeah.
Someone's living there all the
Hmm.
time because you have an animal, you can't leave an animal.
Yeah, I mean
Uh-huh.
that's what I say like about us feeding cattle. Like those cows even eat on Christmas.
Yes,
Those
they do.
cows even eat on Thanksgiving.
And
They eat Sunday morning.
and so chickens. We have the standby generators where the monsoons come rolling in. If the power surges out in the desert, the generator needs to go in to
Yeah.
get the fans on, the water going, everything, so we don't hurt any of our chickens. Like, and so they're all out in the rain when everybody is saying, shelter,
Right,
in
right.
place and everything, and all of our team is out there,
Out there working.
just like we were during the fire.
Yeah, I seen those the 2 story Connex box, like the tiny house things
Hmm.
you were talking about. But they're cool how you guys did it because they're like in a almost like a square,
Yeah.
and then they got like a courtyard in the
Mhm.
middle. It looks like if you go in the middle of it, it looks like apartments.
Yeah.
It just looks like apartments. Pretty cool how you did it. But
Thanks.
so my personal story, I knew a guy that we were teasing him all the time. We said he went on vacation to Buckeye,
Mhm.
but he was on vacation at the Buckeye prison and he worked for you guys. And he told me, "Oh man, I really liked working at Hickman's." And I was like, "Well, yeah, probably when you got out, you had a bunch of money." And he's like, "Man, that wasn't it." He's like, "I had some money saved up." He's like, "But the real reason was," he goes, I went to jail because I was running with the wrong people. He's like, it's not because I was a bad person. He goes, I was running with the wrong people. And he said this, I was running with the wrong people and I was the slowest one running. So I got
Mhm.
caught.
Mhm.
He said, so when I went there and I got the opportunity to work at Hickman's, it made me feel good every day that I was doing man's work and I was proving to everyone that, hey, I'm not a screw up. I just screwed up. You know what I mean?
That's
Like
right.
I'm here, I'm working, I can be a good person. And he got out and he's doing amazing.
That's
Like, I mean,
great.
that dude is in church every Sunday. He's at work probably 30 minutes before everybody else, and he's
Mhm.
same thing. He's climbing the ladder.
Yeah.
But he learned that over here, and it. You guys gave him the opportunity, and I mean, yeah. Let's call a spade a spade. You need the labor. There's labor there, and I think it is just as important the fact that you need the labor as those guys need the chance to show that they're not what I don't know how you say that, but they need the chance to show that they're not why they're there.
Yeah.
They're not the
No.
person that, you know.
Right.
And
Uh,
and I think that's really cool that you guys are doing that and you give them that opportunity and then like the leadership thing.
so if you eat an egg from Hickman's,
Mhm.
so that it's the ladies that run the chick to the poet house and move the birds into their laying barn.
Mhm.
It's ladies that are running those teams, and then and all of our shell egg processing plants are run by females, and even the further processing plant is run by a female. And so, and yes, we need males too, but some of those ladies were formerly incarcerated, and they're part of the 1% that feeds 99%. And I feel like that's a big feather in every farmer's cap
Yeah.
because the United States farmer and rancher
Mhm.
makes it possible for the rest of us to eat. I
Yeah.
mean, I just drove down to come here, just southern and 99th. There used to be nothing past really
Accolades those used to
yeah,
be there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So every food thing popping up is by big ag.
Yeah.
So that's not a backyard or an
Yeah.
urban farm.
No,
Hmm.
and that's tough to see. We talk about that a lot because I mean, Brandon's the end of the era over here in Tolleson.
Hmm.
He's his grandpa was here, and Mike Maddox. You met him earlier. He was here, and but I mean they're getting pushed out, and I mean
Yeah.
even right there at Palo Verde where we are, or even Arlington. I mean people are building right around you guys in
Hmm.
Arlington. I didn't see as much in Tonopah, but right around Arlington, I'm sure Maricopa's the same. And I'm not anti-growth.
Right.
I'm just saying it's happening. And
Hmm.
like you're saying 1% feeds 99%,
Yeah, like it's also I feel a very noble profession because people get up to go to work, and they're going to contribute back to society like by feeding them.
Mhm. Yeah,
It's a big deal.
and I think that sometimes I don't think like we get a bad rap. I don't think that's what it is, but everybody sees, oh well, yeah, you farmers make so much money and this and that. You guys are all claiming you're just helping to feed people. Well, no, we are.
Mhm.
Like we are, but like I work 7 days a week, and the guy complaining that I have nice things and he doesn't works 4 days a week. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Hmm.
kind of like, yeah, farmers. I mean, a lot of us do, but I can remember Hickman's on 91st Avenue didn't look nothing like Hickman's at Tonopah.
Hmm.
And there's only one way you get there.
Right.
It's by
Well,
hard work.
yeah. With all the new growth comes a lot more need for food.
Hmm.
That so you have to get bigger and do more with less.
Hmm.
And then still at everything else is going up.
Yeah.
So and we're not snivellers,
Right.
right?
We
And
just
no,
go
yeah,
on with it.
we just
Okay.
we just support one another and say, yeah, we know, we
Yeah.
know how it feels.
Yeah. And I mean,
Mhm.
it's the same thing with us, right? Like everybody's honest about these cows and this and that. And it's like, okay, cool. Keep telling me all about that wearing your Nike leather shoes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I just,
Yeah.
sometimes people need to open their eyes, but hey, I'm not here to educate the whole world. So
No.
I don't know. But to get back to your reentry program, because I got a little off base there, I really, really appreciate that because I don't think all those people are bad people. Like
No, and
they
you
made
have
some
to.
bad choices.
Right, and there's so many hidden victims that are helped by it. You have some of them have children, and they deserve a parent to get out and be able to sit on the bleachers or be on their teacher conference sign
Yeah.
up sheet or bring in,
Or what about
you know,
what about the lady that made a bad decision because she was getting whooped on, and then
right.
now she's in prison for that? Well,
Mhm.
now she gets to get out and show her kids, like, look, I can work. I'm a good person. I made a bad choice then, or
Mhm.
whatever. However, whatever. It just,
Right.
and I'm sure you guys weed out the ones that don't want to do that pretty quick.
Right. Well, it's a voluntary program. So, yeah, people don't want to do that. It's hard work,
Yeah, it's work.
Some people would rather be digging a ditch than stay in a cell all day
Mhm.
or the same walls all day. And so they're happy to get out.
Look at this
So,
guy. You know that guy? It's okay. We can talk about him. Tony Yunker.
Tony Yonkers here. So he uses our eggs at his restaurant.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah. He uses our beef.
he's a friend. He's a friend.
Yeah, he's a.
Hmm.
It's a big circle. It's a big circle, but it's like what you said, right? We all
Uh-huh.
kind of help each other, and I had no problem running out there if you needed a loader operator.
That was really nice. No, it is really nice because you see all these other, efforts, recovery efforts, and everything, and then you see about 5 people that came out. You were one of them,
Yeah,
and the rest of them are the other farm managers
yeah.
that saw the notice. Hey, we need
Man,
help.
that guy. I'm bad. I didn't get his name because
Tim.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he knew everything about me.
Tim knows that guy.
Holy
Yeah.
cow, that guy knew everything about me. Where my grandma lived in Levine, selling seed to my dad, selling seed to my grandpa. I mean, everything, where we
Yeah.
grew cotton, everything. I was like, man, this guy knows a lot about us.
He does, and he loves the good chicken and the egg puns.
Mhm.
So I look forward to getting those because
I'm sure.
randomly I'll get those, and I know he's working around the clock.
Yeah.
12-hour days are normal days for Tim.
Yeah. Yeah. He
So
seemed pretty committed to his job.
absolutely.
He was pretty cool over there, I
Hmm.
thought. But
Yeah.
where do you see kind of Hickman's going in the future? Like,
So I know that you like branding,
I love it.
and
Oh,
we
I got
have
to tell the branding story I told her before the podcast.
yes, please
so,
do.
so I went to Tonopah. Well, I mean, she's telling you I was out there, but there was like, I have no idea what you guys even use it for. Like, you'll have to find it
Hmm.
because you'll laugh when you see it. It's like a 1984 Toyota bed that they've made a trailer out of, and it's got a camper on it. It's got a giant Hickman sticker on it. Like, I love branding. I love when everybody has a shirt on that says the same name, and
We have
yeah,
funky, we have
right.
yeah, we have jewelry.
All the
Mhm.
trucks are, I love all the little sayings on the trucks and stuff, but I think it's cool when it's even down to the 1984
Right.
Toyota
Well,
bed.
we have the little peace, love, and funky stickers for people's cars.
Yeah.
And I saw it on the plant manager. She answered her phone, and then she's got it on
On the back.
yeah, on the back.
Yeah, that I have a friend that has the trucking company, Joe. He has Value Truck, and he does the same thing. I mean, everybody there is wearing Value Truck. They're using Value Truck. Like, I mean, this is a
Pens.
cattleman's processing pen, but I
Uh-huh.
mean, they're using I'm sorry, Value Truck pens and Value Truck mouse pads.
Yep.
You name it, right?
Hmm.
And it just it gives
It's the team
yeah, it gives it's a sense of a team. It's not like
pride.
right. It's not like the 49ers go out there to play football and they're all wearing a different jersey.
Different one. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Well, there was a really nice if you're proud of something, put your name on it.
Exactly.
We're proud of what we do.
Wait until you see this 84 Toyota pickup bed. You are going to probably want that right in the front office
Yeah.
as a display piece.
We have a lot of branded items that you wouldn't really think that
I
you
love it.
would brand.
I think it was the guys in the shop probably had an extra decal and they're like, we got to do it, dude.
Just
We got to do it.
put it on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this funky chicken. What's this all about?
So our dad he is the poster model of eggs contribute to longevity and probably some really good genetics. He's going to be 96 in November.
Nice.
Eats a couple eggs every day. I'm not kidding. So he developed the Funky Trophy. So if you've worked for Hickman's for 10 years or more, you get one of these, and it's made by Bill Hickman. And if you're a manager, this is the manager of Tonopah. You were out there. She just moved up, and this is her trophy that she's going to get.
That's pretty cool. So you do a whole little thing and give them
They get pictures, and we share it on LinkedIn, and it's one of our most popular engagement items when we share it.
You were saying you have a lot of employees.
932.
932 employees. And I mean, what's kind of the average length of their employment? I mean,
So some of them are inmates. That's 2 to 3 years. Some of them are farm contractors. We have some that have been with us for 4 years. We have a night sanitation supervisor that was actually working for us when he was a teenager in Glendale. He's been working for us for 42 years.
yeah.
So we have a lot of in the tens. Like we have 22 people that will get these in 2015.
Yeah,
There's
that's
22
what
people.
I'm saying. That's crazy.
So
Especially in today's turnover rate and how everything changes and stuff like that.
And you've been out at the farm. There's not one easy job. Even the gate.
The guy with the pushes the button for the water, I wouldn't even want his job.
He tests the water.
I know.
He tests the water.
So when I was there, a semi went through. I don't know, picking up or doing something, and I mean, this semi clears each side by like that side. So that guy was literally back there schooling the semi driver on how to get through there. He's like, "Bro, you don't got much room."
Yeah.
He's like, "We need to concentrate.
Yeah.
We need to get our life together and go straight.
Yeah.
Because if not, it's going to be a big problem."
It's a problem. Yes.
Yeah.
So no, there's not one easy position in that. I think that it's also a big testament to our leadership team. They're not all Hickmans. We only have so many family members in it. Yeah. So there's, about 42 managers out there, and, knock on wood again, you see all these warehouses, and we don't have an opening in our refrigerated warehouses. Right. So
That's pretty awesome.
People are driving by just to go to Hickman's to work.
Yeah, I mean, it says something. Like I said, not only about the leadership. I agree with that 100%, but it's the team feeling.
Oh yeah,
that's the feeling I got when I was out there. Like all these dudes, when they seen that tragedy going on, a fire burning, whatever, that's ours. Like we need to take charge and fix it.
Yeah. So this is our 80th anniversary, and every location, since we are split apart and there's biosecurity, they're doing their own celebration, and it's Founders Day. It's turned into week. They started it last year, and it's for our mom's birthday and their anniversary. So
that's cool.
August 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st is going to be just on every location they're doing themes.
That's pretty cool. So do you guys go around to every one of them, check them all out, like all the?
Oh yeah, we'll be sharing that on all of our platforms. Yeah, probably.
What do you think about all these platforms now, like with all the social media? I mean, you've seen the change. I've seen the change. And I'm so happy that I grew up when I grew up, because it would have been bad.
Yeah, I think it's a great tool used the right way.
Yeah.
And I think it's very affordable for certain products. I think some people do it really well, some people don't, and I think it depends on your product and what you want to do, and I think it gives people like us. We can't go out and buy a Super Bowl commercial. Right. So it gives us level playing field for promoting our brands and getting the message out there. So I know you're probably not paying $1 million to your production guy.
To Craig?
Yeah.
I mean, Craig's not making $1 million.
It's probably just fringe benefits, being a family member.
Yeah.
You've sold him the dream.
He's kind of like, I mean, we kind of talked him into like, Craig, you're really good at this.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're awesome at this,
I've
Craig.
heard the speech.
You're
You're
awesome at
really
this,
good.
Craig.
No one does this better than you.
Yeah. So now, I mean, he's running it.
That's good.
But we do have to give a lot of things to Craig because I'm
Mhm.
telling you, me and Brandon, this would be on the back of a flatbed pickup with our iPhone turned backwards. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah. So
So
it's same thing. We're a team. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Well, I like the choice of all the platforms.
Yeah.
I really do, and it's so you have kids,
Hmm.
right? So I was shocked that my kids were telling me things about politics before my news sources were telling me,
Oh yeah.
and they say that kids are tuned out, and I think they're more into politics now because they have the ability.
I don't
I
think.
think it's a good thing.
Yeah, I don't think like as a kid, like my daughter's she'll be 16 on Monday,
Hmm.
and I don't. I mean, she'll tell you all about everything going on in politics,
Yeah.
and I don't think at 16 I knew anything about politics. I knew
You
who the
knew
president
you knew
was.
you were driving
Yeah, I knew I was driving. I knew who the
legally
president
on the
was.
road,
Right,
not just on the farm roads,
not just on the farm roads, not in
hmm
the retriever truck with no license plates. Yeah,
and
I
no brakes, maybe.
no brakes, most likely.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right.
Mhm.
They are a lot more in tune. But double-edged sword, right? Like you go to eat dinner and there's four people at a table and all four of them are like this.
Okay,
That
but
drives me nuts.
I will tell you though, remember when they were little and if they were just having a good time, you'd get people giving you the stink eye. So what do? We put a little, coloring
Coloring book.
book or
Yeah,
something, just make sure those other people don't look at us anymore
that's
because we
true.
have a child, you know?
Yeah.
So
But I think at
we kind of
least
started it. Like just be
yeah.
quiet or.
I think at least though, when you had the coloring book, you were still talking. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you're right. I didn't think of it like that, but yeah, that just for some reason drives me nuts. And then so um, I say this all the time, and my wife says I'm racist, but I'm not. I'm married to a Mexican, right?
Uh-huh.
We do things differently. We eat dinner at a dinner table at night, every night.
Good for you
Like
guys.
that's what we do. And I mean,
That's hard to do. That's
we
good.
and I mean, I'm talking 95% of the time.
That's
Half the time
nice.
I'm in trouble because I was 30 minutes late. But
Yep.
that's what we're doing. And it's no phones. We're
Hmm.
talking about what was going on in the day. And I mean, eating dinner is maybe max an hour type of thing, right? But it's so important to my little family to get that hour
That's great.
of, you know, my daughter started her vet program at Westmeck. We want to know what's going on over there, what's going on,
Hmm.
and then we talked to my wife about what she did in the office. They talked to me about what we did on the farm, and just a little hour. And I I'm just one little dude in a little small town of Palo Verde, Arizona. But I can tell you right now, if more people in the world would take 1 hour of their day, you don't
Hmm.
got to turn your phone off. I mean, if there's an emergency, somebody can still get a hold of you, but
Hmm.
take 1 hour of your day and just sit there and talk to each other. It's like the next morning goes better. I don't know why.
Hmm.
It just seems like it flows better, but it's back to leadership.
Yeah.
It's all back to the leadership. I'm
Leadership
telling
and
you.
training.
Yeah, it is.
Leadership and training.
It is. And I mean, when I had that little girl, I figured right then my only job in the world was to make a good human.
Hmm.
See, and a
Hmm.
good, somebody that was going to provide to society instead of pull from it. So that's I'm still on that path. That's what I'm trying
That's
to do.
great. That's great.
That's
Well,
what
she's going to be a vet, right?
yeah, yeah.
Way to go.
She's gonna be a vet. Probably come do an internship at Hickman. No, I'm just kidding. She's going
Bring
to
her. Bring her.
she's going to A&M. So she's in Westmeck vet program right now. She's a junior. She'll be junior, senior there. Then she'll go to A&M, go to A&M's vet school, and then whatever.
Wow.
I got $1,000 bet with my mom that she never comes back from Texas.
Yeah.
I don't think she
Yeah.
will. I mean, there's so much opportunity over there for what she's gonna do. Like, she wants to do large animal and like sports performance animal, like horses, bucking
Oh,
bulls,
yeah.
things like that. And so there's a lot of opportunity over there,
Oh,
which
that's good.
is fine. I
Yeah.
I like Texas.
Yeah.
Good excuse for me to go over there.
Go visit.
Right,
Hmm.
right.
Yeah.
Well, Craig's flagged me down here. Let's take a little break.
Okay.
We'll get you something to drink. We'll make sure everything's copacetic, and then we'll get right back here.
Sounds good.
All right. Hey, welcome back to the Tolleson-Mack podcast. Sharman Hickman's here with us. We got a little drink of water, talked to Tony a little bit, just hanging out, having a good time.
Yeah.
This is a no stress environment over here.
Is it ever stressful environment with hay?
At a podcast? Nah, I don't think it should be ever a stressful environment at a
We
podcast.
have hay out there.
Yeah. We're like,
Smells good.
for people that never have seen where we podcast from, we basically are surrounded by hay barns, tractors, hay squeezes, hay trucks, hay balers, hay rakes, hay everything over here.
It's a movie set out there. To
Pretty
me,
much.
it is.
Yeah, pretty much. We could use it for that. Little side biz for Brandon.
Yeah.
So in the break, we were kind of talking about trends in foods, and I was saying what we see like in our processing plant is a lot of people want to just like they want to know that their food's not coming from some place they don't know, or like a rancher brings his beef in to feed his family, or to sell to his friends, or to sell at a farmer's market, or wherever he's going to do it. We see big trends in food that way.
Yeah.
What are you guys seeing on your side?
Very good question because it's very on trend right now. My brother saw it in Europe first. The level of processing, you can download that Yuka app and then you just scan something and it'll give you the score. So eggs are the least of the process. Our products, basically we take care of an animal and they produce something. And so we do it very safely and affordably and responsibly, and then give this meat protein to a consumer, and it goes right to the ingredients are the meat, and then you see the nutrient profile. So there's no level of processing,
Right.
So I think our products lend themselves very well to zero level of processing, and that's what people are really. That's the buzzword. I saw, I don't know if it was CNN or Fox, but they were talking about what the average student eats for breakfast. And if you look on some of those school menus, and my hats go off to all the school, nutritionists out there, but the level of processing that we're feeding these kids versus 2 eggs,
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we have some work to do.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get much simpler than an egg
No.
for processing.
Yeah.
I mean, and like I said, I toured it, checked it out, and the way that it's handled and the belts and the way it moves around there, I mean, it's pretty. I mean, number one, it's very efficient. I know that from being in our process. I walked around, I'm like, man, talk about light years ahead of what I'm doing. But obviously we're doing a different animal, but it's very efficient, very low impact.
Yeah.
Things like that. I think it's great. But I personally want to thank you for coming on and touching. I feel like I'm just keep going back to this. Just the reentry program is so important to me personally. I think that's great. I'm not one of these people that are standing in front of the prison wanting to let everybody out. I'm not saying everybody in there's a good person, or I'm not saying everybody in there shouldn't be learning a lesson. But the fact that you guys are giving them the opportunity to show everyone that, hey, I screwed up, but I'm not a screw up.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if you're going to put that on a shirt, but if you do, just throw like a bee Shelton at the bottom.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Something like that. Because speaking of shirts, we have shirts.
We have some shirts.
So if you guys want some shirts, you comment what you think about eggs and podcasting
That's
and all.
laid and made in the USA.
Laid and made in the USA. I mean, yeah, doesn't get much better than that. Got the code on the bottom. Rock with our flock. See, this is all the branding stuff I'm talking about.
It never ends, really. 80 years. Another 80 years.
Another 80 years. See, that one's cool. I like that one too.
Yeah, we thought you would like the horns.
Yeah, I feel like that one's probably going to go home with me. So nobody get real attached to this one.
And we do have Peace, Love, and Funky.
Peace, Love, and Funky. There you go. So yeah, and hats. We got all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah, we bought show the love to your audience out there.
Yeah, we would love to. I do got a question. They can buy eggs at Jackrabbit?
We're farm stand store hours, basically, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 8 to 1. And if you mentioned this, of course, we'll give you something.
We'll give you the hookup over here.
We will.
Just mention the Tolleson-Mack podcast.
That's right.
But my other question and last question is Jackrabbit between Southern and MC85.
Exactly.
Boom.
Look for the big chicken, and that's not...
Not the big chicken on 85.
That
on
no,
not that one.
it's no. Are you talking about Roman's Oasis?
Duck's house.
Oh no, that's my rooster. That
That's
is
your
the one
rooster.
rooster.
See?
Yeah,
I knew there had
yeah,
to be a
that is
rooster
my
around
rooster.
there.
Yes, and so the rooster or the hen on our marquee. So you can't miss us because there's a gigantic fiberglass hen.
Huge.
And her name is Henrietta. So if you say, I know that the chicken's name is Henrietta,
There you go.
again, proof that they
Proof
tuned
that
in.
you listened. I love it. Talk about the funky chicken statue, anything. Talk about the leadership program. Talk about how much I love the reentry program. And just for all the listeners, I've never been in prison. I just think it's cool. So
Yeah.
okay.
No, you know what? Without that program, Hickman's wouldn't be where it was today. So it's 29 years of reentry success.
So cool. All right. Well, thanks for coming.
Thanks for inviting us.
Okay.
The whole
Bye-bye.
flock.
The whole flock. All right. Bye-bye.